welcome everybody back. Episode 4, Pete Rock. I'm Chad the Dad. What's going on, Pete?
What's up, man? Look good, dude. I like the all yellow hat. I don't think you've worn that yet. It looks good.
I have not. Purposely tried to wear a different hat on every episode. I'll tell you, there is a meaning behind that. We'll get into it another day, but I don't know if I've.
I try to as well.
What's that?
I try to as well, but when I run out, I've got a friend that I want to reach out to. It's got hopefully got some different color hats I can borrow, just so I can make sure I'm matching. But how was your week, man? I feel like I haven't seen
it's good, man. We Noah Khan concert last night here at Carter Finley in Raleigh was absolutely incredible show. Sold out. I mean, people everywhere. We made the unfortunate decision to leave kind of in the middle of Stick Season, which is his final / probably most popular song. Was back in my house by 11:15. I saw on TikTok that some folks were still in the parking lot at 2 a.m. waiting for Ubers. So,
really?
What I missed the second half
what time did you leave?
Best song. We left it was probably about 10:50 when that song was played. I think he had to be done by 11, and that was home by, and we dropped people off. So
nice.
It was it was incredible. We did run in. A shout out to Patrick, who I ran into, who was a big fan of the program here. He was very excited about the podcast. He also has 2 children similar to my kid's age, and one of them will be starting kindergarten with my youngest here in about a month at the same school. So shout out to him. I'm going to probably have to have him on the show. I think that's probably a no-brainer at some point. I know you guys go way back. He and I go way back. I probably haven't seen him in 10 years. And randomly enough, we picked up another couple who my daughter goes to preschool with, their daughter. And we picked them up, and he was like, "Hey, I got to go to this tailgate, and I got to go meet my buddy." And I'm like, go ahead, walk over and meet your buddy. And I was like, you know what? We'll just walk with you. And then we start walking, and he starts explaining the person he's going to meet. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know him. So that was
Patrick, man, he is such a sweetheart. Beautiful hair too.
Yeah, loves the show. Hair. Loves the podcast.
Big fan.
So, big fan. Huge fan. Actually, he told me.
Super fan. I think he's a super fan.
Hopefully we'll have him on soon. One thing I did want to kind of clear up a little bit before we get started is had a few comments from friends of the show, maybe calling this a parenting podcast. And I even had one of my really good friends say, "Hey, I'm not watching this podcast because I have 3 teenagers and your kids are 5 and 6. And clearly he knows everything about parenting. But to clear things up is, I don't think either one of us intended this to be a parenting podcast at all. I think there might be a misconception, maybe if you haven't watched or just maybe looked at the title. But really the goal for us was to build a community of dads where it's okay to talk about family, relationships, mental health. We want to talk about what we do right, but we want to talk even more about what we do wrong, because we're just trying to figure this out, whether your kids could be babies, you could be teenagers. Everyone's got stress. Everyone's got stories to tell. We don't know what we're doing. We're just trying to get a little better every day. And we're just happy to have a microphone to talk about it. We want to hear from everybody, talking to friends last night and everybody else. So just want to kind of clear that up, that this is more about being a safe place for guys to talk and share best practices, talk about their feelings. It's something that we're very big on. The whole thing was like, this wants to be a community. So definitely not a parenting podcast. If you're tuning in for parenting advice from us, you're probably in the wrong place, to be honest. We'll give you some opinions.
Foremost. Yeah, I'll definitely give you some opinions on how to do it. Certainly ain't going to find it in a book. But yeah, not here to give advice, man. Just, I'm here to share experiences. I like it because it's free therapy with my boy, we're kind of recording this so our kids can maybe watch it one day. So, you never know. But no, I think it's a great point, man. Yeah. Good. I'm glad
I just wanted to clear that up. Just a couple comments again. Friends of the program, not trying to be negative towards those people. Yeah, exactly. We're just clearing that up. So anyway, let's just jump into what's trending real quick. I know this is always a fan favorite of the program, and I think I got some good stories for us today.
Can I just look up hashtag what's trending and find that? Do you have to hashtag these things, what's trending?
There's a few different ways you can get to a trending article. It typically could just be a TikTok that has a ton of views, and that would be technically. But yeah, there's you can go to like a what's trending. I know on I use Twitter, maybe now called X, but I still will always call it Twitter. You can scroll over and literally click what's trending. It'll give you top 20 articles. So
never do that. Anyway, show me what's trending, man.
All right. So the first story I queued up for us is it's a pretty funny one, and I'll read you exactly what she says. But there's an Australian comedian who urges parents to stop celebrating their children's boring moments. So, Australian comedian, she has a 7-year-old son. They're sitting at the playground, and he wants to jump off a rock, and she's like, "This is a very small rock. It's not even an impressive rock." I told him no. I am not watching him jump off this rock.
Wow.
Which this thing has been seen by 2.8 million viewers. And the funniest part about this story, and we'll get into some questions I got about celebrating our kids, is she finishes the video by saying, "I'm not sending another man into the world who thinks everything he needs witnessing. Next, he'll start doing a podcast."
Yeah, dude. Fuck, it's the end, man. That is the end. Stop celebrating boring moments. I've thought about this, and I think, honestly, I think it's one of the joys of parenting, man. Like getting excited over the littlest thing that nobody else would give a shite about, like nobody else would care that, oh, look, babe, you were finally able to get that square through the circle. I know you've been trying to for so long, but you finally did it, like good job, like, or whatever it is, dude. I honestly think that's the most fun, and then with the big moments, I feel like you're celebrating less and you're more like, hey, man, now this is a step. This is a step. Next is this, so I like to celebrate the little crap, man. I think it's way more fun,
I mean,
especially
how many times a day do you hear? How many times a day do you hear, "Dad, watch this. Dad, watch this"?
I mean, I could throw a number out there. I would just have to do a little math on minutes in the day real quick. I mean, I should know off the top of it, but yeah, Dad, watch this. Dude, my 14-year-old does that. And Dad, come up here, man. Come up here, Dad. I'm like, what? He's like, I got to show you this thing. And I'm like, could you come down to me? So yeah, it just kind of changes, but yeah, man, like the little ones, dude. What are we doing here? Okay, got it.
Yeah. I know I do this all the time. Do you ever pretend that you just saw something you definitely did not watch? Like, oh yeah, that's because like my daughter does that all day. Dad, watch this, and she'll just like jump 1 inch off the ground, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And I'm like 90% of the time, like not even looking over at her.
So I bet you're off. I bet it's 10% of the time you're not looking, and 90% of the time you are.
Probably.
But we're just the same thing over and over. So hey, man. Yeah, I saw it. And now, they start to be like, you didn't see it. Like, oh, I saw it. Like, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. You did this and this. And then they're like, well, I'm going to do it again. Okay. And then you have to stop and watch. But yeah, boring moments. Well, I mean, I honestly think the most boring stuff is the most fun stuff. So I would like to see that stand-up skit though. What's her name?
Her name is M. Rusciano.
Luciano.
Yeah, it's just I pretty much nailed everything she said in the video, but it went very viral, and a lot of people, obviously, a lot of different things were just celebrating every little thing. And do we need to applaud everything we get? I mean, does that make our kids a little softer? I think is kind of the argument that's been going on over the internet. And is there a difference?
Obviously, it's present.
Yeah.
Obviously, it thins out as they grow, right? We're not celebrating little things, like the little tiny boring stuff when they get older, but as they're growing, man, I think that's obviously essential, for the little ones to, like, oh, look at me, and I can do something different. I'm going to try and do something bigger. But I don't know. I'm curious. I would like to know how ruffled the feathers got. I'm always curious of who got the maddest, like who got so pissed off that they let this like ruin their day. That would be funny to me too. But Ambrosiano, I think
the comment section seemed to be mostly in agreement, with some revealing that she's far from alone in this parenting method. I'm not going to watch every time you jump. Someone actually commented, "This is why I boo my nephews. If not me, then who? It starts at home."
Hey, yeah, good. That's funny. I have booed the kids before, and surprisingly, most of them take it pretty well. But God, I was just gonna say something on that.
Um,
But like the jumping off the rock thing, for example, yes, that is all day long. Dad, look at this little physical activity I can do. But like, if if they are, I don't know. I'm gonna start. I want to start keeping track of some of the things, like especially the little one. When she's like, "Daddy, I did it," and like the less impressive it is, the more animated I get. You know what I'm saying? So that I mean, I just like to be
mhm.
animated anyway.
I saw another
Yeah,
parent commented.
whatever.
One
Figure out
parent
boring
commented
hour.
said they tell their right. They said, if I'm not impressed, you're going to bed early is what they tell their child every time they ask them to show them
I have
something.
said that. If
Uh,
this doesn't blow me away, we're calling it. Like, yeah, I mean,
no, I do think
you
there's
know,
a fine line. I think most kids are
yeah,
looking for attention. I mean, they just want the attention. It's not really about what they're doing, and I've noticed that with my
yeah,
daughter because a lot of times when she wants me to watch this is when I'm maybe playing FIFA or something with my son, and she's feeling a
yeah.
little left out, and she's like, "Dad, watch this cartwheel. Watch this
Oh
cartwheel."
yeah.
Okay,
You
you
know
just
what?
did 7 cartwheels.
I always say, "We see you. We see you." I was like, "We see you. I'm always seeing you. I always see what you're doing." Like, especially with little C, dude. She's always she has thinned out now, but like she used to be like attention. Like I'm spending it with the little one, and obviously everybody deals with that, dude. All the other kids want attention, but if like I'm doing something, I'm like, I see you, honey, and you also got to see me. But
Hmm.
how hard is it to really look at her and
That's
watch?
that's
What
been
drives me nuts
the
is when it takes
constant.
them 30 seconds to jump off that rock. Like, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
pick the pace up here. You know, get on a
I've
bigger rock.
caught myself getting a little frustrated with my kids sometimes when I'm in the middle of doing something like, "Hey, like, can you not see I'm cooking?" Or, "Hey, I'm doing
Yeah,
something over here," and it's hard to not just snap and be like, I'm busy." And then
it's wild,
now
dude.
I've done that, and I somewhat regret. But now Connor, sometimes I'll ask my child to do something, and he's like, "I'm busy." Oh,
Yeah,
like it's hard to be
we
mad
were.
because I know he's gotten that from me, which is not ideal, but also. Uh, yeah, so it's just amazing. They're just
My buddy's son came over the other day, and he's a year older than Repeat, and they were having a good time. After his family was done doing what they're doing, they came over. We all stayed up playing Switch Sports. We're all just kind of having them, making some cocktails for them and stuff like that. And Mabel doesn't know how to jump on Roblox, and so I'm like doing this, and she's just like standing below me, like I don't know how to jump, and I was like, there's three people sitting on the couch, like your brother's right there next to you, but she just weaseled her way. So yeah, they only know what they know. They only want to go to, I guess, dad knows everything here in this house because that's all there is. So he's the only hand of authority. So anyway, whatever. Yeah, celebrate the boring stuff. It's fun. Make it bigger. The
No,
boring
I
goes.
agree. It's a fine line. I think
Yeah,
celebrating
dude.
every little thing is a little much, but also
As
I
with
think a lot of it's
anything, it's
just
like,
them just again they just want attention.
yeah, dude. As with anything, right? You're not gonna. I mean, we could go all day on this.
Yeah. So let's
I got.
from kind of parents paying too
Yeah.
much attention to a parent that the internet does not believe paid enough attention. I want to get your thoughts on this as well. This video that has gone viral with two kids just climbing all over the display stand at this donut shop. So the internet's got a lot of reactions, but I mean, if you watch the video, you can see the kid's hand. It's kind of up there, got it on the glass. He's kind of side swiping across it. He's doing everything. She's just ordering her donuts, mind her own business. Could care less about her kid. I mean, at what point do you just stop ordering the donut and just grab your kid? I mean, what's your thoughts
Dude,
on that?
yeah.
Just climbing all.
This is what like gives taking kids out to a restaurant a bad name. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if they don't know the line of decency, and especially a place that first serves food. I worked in one for 20 years. Dude, I'm just all I'm thinking. Like, I don't even like. Sometimes when we're going into like a let's call it a donut shop, and they have glass doors. I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's grab the handle. Let's grab the handle. No fingerprints on the glass. Now this kid's got his freaking croc smudge all over. I mean, who knows what was on? Who knows what he walked through? But I'm also, yeah, no, don't. obviously, I'm glad somebody pulled the phone out. Was there a reaction from the mom after? Was she like pissed that somebody was recording her kids, or?
No, but a lot of people on the internet were saying, "Hey, don't agree with the mom, but I don't agree with you recording her children either." So I wanted to
Yeah,
get your thoughts on
yeah,
that as well. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
that's a fine line. I
it,
think people need accountability, but also,
yeah. But a lot of people don't understand. I mean, there's also a generation that probably doesn't have kids. Many that are 30 years old. So, late 20s. They still grew up recording everything and posting everything, and everything's about going viral. So, they're seeing that and they're like, "Whoa, this is out of line." I mean, obviously, the mom not doing anything is not cool, but like, take your camera off my kids, you know. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, the posting thing I think is the bad part. Like, why did you have to post? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, it's just stirring shit up, stirring it
yeah. I
up.
mean,
Is
it's a
that?
fine line because I don't think my kids should be posted on someone's internet post or just to kind of get
No.
reactions
Yeah.
because that would
No.
anger me. And I mean, once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. But at the same time, my kids would never act like that ever.
Yeah, no
Um,
doubt. That's a big one.
and I think a lot of moms like look at this and dads too, but in this case it was a mom. But with gentle parenting, I mean, I think some people look at gentle parenting as maybe not having boundaries at all. I mean, I think there still
Yeah, but
needs
it's
to be
not letting them climb
boundaries,
all over
especially when you're
stuff in public. It's not, you
yeah.
know. No, yeah,
I mean,
no.
what kind
I
of
mean, yeah, dude, you can do both. A good parent can do both. Like, nurture versus nature. Do both,
mm-hmm.
right? Don't pick a side. Stop picking sides with everything. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out that caramel fudge. I don't see much fudge. I can't. It looks like caramel and mustard or
Yeah.
something. But that's swirl on the right, man. As long as it's not filled with too much berry, I mean, I could probably do it.
I do
Anyway,
like the delicious donuts. I mean, unless they got
yeah,
kids' fingerprints and stuff all over the glass, might ruin the appetite a little bit. Um, I
sure.
mean, should strangers ever step in when another child's like misbehaving? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, if your kid's like doing something, do you want another parent? I mean, to like say something to your
Mm,
kid, do you want them to approach you, or what would be your
I
preference?
mean, I would much rather them approach me. I mean, I've kind of been in this situation as like the bystander. I'll see a parent away, and I'll see a little kid or doing something that I know the parent wouldn't like, and keeping my distance, but at the same time, maybe kind of trying to get on their level and just because they're staring at me like swinging around, and something could be dangerous. I'm just like, hey, bud, or something like that to kind of try and get them away. I can't say specifics, but yeah, I mean, I think this starts at. I think this starts before you ever get in the car to go anywhere.
I agree.
But I would say come to me, like, but they're doing it right there.
Yeah,
Like
like
that.
if
You kind
your
of
kid's
sit.
about to fall off like a building or something, or a dock is
Yeah,
that
man.
like just grab my kid. But for
You
the
could
most
save their
part, I
life.
agree. I think if it's just like you don't agree with what my kid's doing, like come talk. I mean, I'm not worried about my kids. My
Yeah,
kids are
dude.
almost
Don't
too nice
post that.
sometimes,
Don't
but
post it on Facebook. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure the
And
internet
I
is
mean, it makes it
divided.
hard. I mean, do you think it makes it harder to be a parent knowing that if you're in public and your worst parenting moment, or maybe it's your worst day, and then all of a sudden you got people filming you like nowadays? I mean, does that make it a little bit harder to parent and discipline your kids, you think?
Um, I could go off in a weird tangent on this one because I've got kids of all ages, so
Hmm.
and we try to get out as much as possible. And I think what I do is I keep my cool. Like, even though, like, so I guess I know I've had bad parenting moments out in public. I don't think anybody's ever recorded any of them, but like, if one of them loses it, hurts themselves, or is just acting up, and I just swoop in and pick up and go away and talk quietly, I've always resolved the situation. That's not parenting advice, everybody. I'm just saying, hey, like, you know what? I'm not going to act like an ass right now, because have the mentality like I'm not going to act like an ass right now because somebody could be recording. So just go in and do your thing, man. And just I wouldn't yell or scream in anybody's face. Just get up and go away. Take the child and go away. When you get them out of that situation, man, you'd be surprised how quick tensions can simmer down. But yeah, and I feel like yeah, it could be scary. You have an absolute meltdown. I am surprised at the way some people, I see people get hit in grocery stores, like parents saying some nasty stuff, like, yo, dude, like, good grief, what's it like behind the closed doors? But that's not for me, man. But yeah, like when it comes to somebody recording a meltdown or something like that, that would suck. So in order to avoid that, I've got some advice. Pick the situation up and move it away for a moment and see what happens. That's my advice.
I tend to agree. I'm big with my kids of take a deep breath. Let's pull it to the side. Let's calm down. And then I agree. Kind of diffuse the current situation versus just losing it, especially in public. It's not that I really care about the other people. It's just like you said, you never know what's being filmed or whatever else, and you just don't want to be in that situation. So,
yeah. And then you accidentally find out a good way to handle the situation. Oops, I really diffused that. I could have tried to diffuse it right there on the spot, made a jack of myself, and lost a lot of energy and been embarrassed. Or I could just identify it, pick it up, go away, go back, dude, like nothing ever happened, man. Found that out accidentally, and you just reminded me of it. So thanks, man. I gotta remember to do that. So
No, I like your advice. I agree. I think all that starts at home. Like you don't want your kid climbing on the donut shop window. Like that's something that's been, that's it. That's a you problem at the beginning. That's not like, oh, my kid just started climbing on this, because my kid would never even think about climbing on it.
No, they're looking at the donut. They're like, a donut, oh, I want that one and that one and that one and that one. And like, you're not gonna like that one. Well, I'm gonna like, no, you're not. Like, I'll just eat all these donuts then. But yeah, don't let your kid climb on glass cases anywhere. Pies, donuts, any bakery shop. Don't do it.
No, agreed.
Don't record the kids, man.
Yeah, don't record
the kids. You don't know anyone's situation. You don't know what anybody's going through. That woman could have had the worst thing going through her head at that moment, and she took those kids to get donuts to try to cheer them up, put smiles on their faces, and in turn put a smile on her. Like, you just never know. So just don't follow them around, see if they do it somewhere else, then record it, then post it.
Agreed. No, I think we could all be a little kinder to each other. I try to remind myself all the time when some dude's like speeding past me, cuts me off. I'm like, well, I don't know where he's in a hurry to get to, but it might be a lot more important than where I'm headed. Yeah. So like, I try to think about that. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, obviously, it's said and done, but that's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
Just jump over to Dadvice of the week. I mean, again, just talking about some things. We can go a couple different topics. I mean, anything kind of happened this week or recently that you want to share, or maybe some parenting. Maybe it was a questionable decision. Maybe it was like something you did really well, and you're like, man, this worked out well. Anything like that jumps out in your mind for Dadvice this week?
I guess just what comes to mind is just like, recent, it's the end of the weekend for me, and I spend every weekend with my kids, every single one. And right now it's tough, man. 8 and 4-year-old girl, dude. It is like I've heard that silence before, fists hit too many times in the last 24 hours. But it's, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I have any dad advice, right? But I'll tell you what I'm going through, and that's like two little girls that it's so hot and cold, and it primarily probably has to do with the little one because she's in a stage where she's either on or off, right? And you never know. Like, don't know if she's hungry and she's just not eating or whatever it is. It could be, but she's figuring it out, and when she's ready to figure it out, we'll start to learn again. And but that's what I'm dealing with, is just like trying to tell my 8-year-old that, man, like, I have had to deal with this before, like you and repeat, you were the little one. And so having to hammer that home, and I guess, dude, sometimes it's a little bit of bribery, like I'll be bribing, and then some of those bribes turn into really good times. Like last night, I was like, hey, look, hey, if you can just, if she wants something of yours, if you can just give it to her, I swear, like, we can stay up late and play Switch sports. We can do that. And then we did, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm like, but then, think of the alternative. Then you get mad, she gets mad, and then you just, this is like, holy crap. like come down, oh God, Daddy, you pulled my hair in tight. But I got no Dadvice, so I'm actually looking for Dadvice this week. This is a cry for help.
Yeah.
I I've got two little girls that beat the crap out of each other and like to beat the crap out of me. But it's hard, man. I try to let them figure it out. I try to be around, I guess, when I start to hear things going wrong and not intervene. And I always get sucked into it. I mean, everything I get sucked into. But man, yeah, if you got any Dadvice for your boy Pete Rock here, it would be how do I entertain two different ages? I think I got it. There's just a lot of I'm in that age. One of them's in that age range. They'll rekindle again. But yeah, man.
For the listeners,
I don't have any advice. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for Dadvice from the listeners, and we're not a parenting podcast. We're just out here talking about what's happening, and
I don't know what I'm doing.
That makes a lot of sense. I think on my side, very similar, maybe not as aggressive at this point because my age gap, but I mean, my kids are 5 and 6.5. I mean, they absolutely adore each other. They spend every second together. But I will say, now that we are in the heat of summertime, there are a lot of days where they are just kind of getting tired of each other. And you hear the screaming, you hear the yelling, and this morning trying to sleep in just a little bit longer, and you hear, Mama, why did you do that? And they're just like, and then screaming. So I think, obviously I think it is just ultimately the summertime around each other nonstop. I mean, you spend that much time with anybody, I think eventually you're going to be like, man, we just need a break. So I've been trying to separate a little bit. Hey, why don't, take my son out, we'll go ride around, do some stuff for a couple hours. Then the next day I'll kind of take my daughter, just kind of give them a little bit of that peace and quiet without each other. But I agree, man, it's a tough balance. And I mean, I think ages, girl, I mean, there's a lot
really
of factors. Yeah.
My sister Laura, love of my life. We were like 17 months apart and we went through everything together. We were like forcibly inseparable as kids, but then obviously looking back, like we wanted to be around each other, and we do now. But I wonder what that. I think our parents just like, go, you'll figure it out. Go outside. Like it's not that easy for me. Like go get out, kick rocks. They share the same Barbie hood. Like they share the same outfits. How can they survive? How did we do it, Dad? How did we do it, Mom? But I don't know if they'd really remember or they'd make up a story, but I love them so much. But yeah, but it's just a phase, man. It's just a phase. It really is. I mean, if you encourage, if you stop saying, I think I don't blame, like, I'm like, okay, well, you can tell me, but I know. And then, one of them is trying to say, no, this happened. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I wasn't here to see it. And you guys got to understand, you always tell me different things. And my point is, like, as long as you just preach, like, hey, man, it's going to be one of your biggest best friends, one of the biggest people in your corner. If you just continue to let them know that over time, they'll figure it out. Right. But don't take a side, don't take sides. Like, you're both lying to me. Because I know you didn't have it like that because you being too dramatic and you're covering your ass. So just don't take sides. Have them talk it out, change the subject, do something silly. I mean, that's what I do. That could be my tag phrase.
Agreed. Well, no. So Dadvice is kind of what the kids need from us, but moving into real talk, this is kind of what we need, and maybe some things that don't typically get talked about out loud normally. So I had a good one I want to talk about and kind of get your thoughts on, because I think I can shed a light on this as well. But how hard is it to be fully present with your family or with your kids when you got other stuff on your mind? Because I know this is, with what I'm going through, and I'll get into mine in a second, but just want to get your initial thoughts on kind of that question.
Yeah.
Just how do you kind of stay in that moment?
Man.
When you got just a lot of stresses building up internally or whatever it may be.
and this is pretty often now that I'm actually thinking about it. It does, because I work a high physical stress job, and it's a high emotional stress job. And so yeah, sometimes I could be tuned out, waiting to try to make a deal or something like that. Or you sometimes if mom and I aren't seeing eye to eye, and something is said, it gets under my skin. I kind of it can bother me. And so being present, I don't. I may not have. I probably haven't been great at it in the past. I'm present, but when something's bothering me, I certainly would tend to shut down. And I didn't know why I was doing it, and I don't know if I was just waiting for it to go away. But now I kind of shut down, but I kind of take a step back for with purpose, right? And that's to slowly just think through it, talk myself through it, and just ultimately the goal is to get myself to be like, hey man, everything's gonna be all right, dude. Um, one of the things that I have that I'm very very fortunate to have is a 14-year-old son that is just highly emotionally educated, super just sharp and caring, and sometimes we have a bond where I'm like, hey man, I know some things are bothering me just right now. Like, hey man, if you could just have my back for a little bit, a couple hours, take the girls on a walk, do whatever. Um, he knows it, man. And now I don't even have to ask him. Like sometimes I'm just, whether I've gone on a cold streak, I'm in a sales position, right? 100% commission. I don't get paid anything. So if I go on a cold streak, man, it's like, where's that check gonna come from? And sometimes I need to just kind of think and just feel the feel that crappy feeling, and keep moving on. Ultimately, once I say everything's going to be all right, I'm very lucky to have my boy. He is able to lift me up. And one of the things that I had to teach him is like, hey man, don't feed off my energy, right? Sometimes I'm going to be down. I don't want you to be down with me. You don't have any reason to be down. I'm down, and sometimes I look for you to lift me up. And I know that sounds like a big responsibility, but sometimes it's just being silly or stupid, or asking me a dumb question. But like, I just, like I said, try to share with Pete. And I'm like, hey man, or even my kids now, like even my 4-year-old, like, I'm like, hey, if I ever feel like I'm not there, or I don't have time, or I feel short, or whatever it is, I want you to know that that's me. Like that's me dealing with something, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get through it. So it's not something you did. I didn't mean to be snappy, but that you're not doing anything wrong. I will gladly always say that, because it is me, dude. And like, like when you look down at it, what are you doing? You're taking it out on your kids, whether it's a short answer or telling them no, or, whatever it is, not sending the grade, I'm not sending the message I want to send. So I started being clearer, and I started being open, being like, hey, I'm kind of dealing with some stuff right now. So if, just give me a moment. Can you girls go up and play Barbie for a little bit? Sure, daddy. And then they're in. But yeah, it can be very tough. It for sure. Yeah.
No, agreed. And I think that one hits home for me because obviously being recently laid off and having a lot of stress internally, but also trying to, 2 days later, my son graduated from kindergarten, and then, obviously been able to spread the summer. So I think I've done, I think I'm a little bit more, obviously my kids are a little younger. I don't think, I think you're very lucky to have Pete, who lets you, you can kind of have real conversations with him where, for my kids, they're too young. But it breaks my heart sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but he's older, but I have been having open conversations with him since he was 7, 6, 7, 8. Just having those conversations. Now again, again, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it starts kind of helping them understand, helping them kind of see it from a different point of view earlier in their life, right? You're helping them kind of, hey, look at it from this perspective. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it makes sense. And I was going to say, it kind of breaks my heart because, right after I lost the job, my son's like, well, where's our money going to come from? And
man.
I'm like, it hit me with some deep stuff like that. And I'm like, man, it'll be okay. Like, and, again, there's always aspects to dad. You're not going to kind of let them see you sweat, I guess you could say. So I think that, but I do agree. I have been doing exactly what you just said. So that was a great segue that, I'm laying in bed
Yeah.
with my, just like I'm telling them about like, hey man, I'm a little bit stressed out because I have this
Yep.
interview tomorrow, or I'm a little bit stressed out because that's because again, to your point, the goal for me is to have when he's going through some stressful situations, I want him to feel comfortable talking about, hey,
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'm stressed out because
That's the example.
I'm kids bullying me at school, or we got this big test tomorrow. Like, and I want, I just think everything in life we talked about a billion times, but it's just communication and having that back and forth and being able just even vent. Sometimes you just need to vent. The amount of people I'm thankful for I've been able to call over the past 6 weeks and just vent to that understand kind of
Yeah.
what I'm going through. Maybe they've been there, maybe, it's been huge. But I think from a kid's perspective, again, there is the fine line of having the conversations, but there's also like, man, they don't need to know all the stresses of a parent
Right. 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 Right.
especially at their
Right.
age or even repeats age. I still think there's that fine line. And again, not an expert at this, trying to figure it out on the fly myself. But I do think there is a good bit of just putting on the tough face. And sometimes it's like, hey, I'm going to walk down the stairs and maybe shed a
It's
tear.
life.
I don't know. I just need to
That's
step
life.
away, like you said, or let me just go outside. Like, just give me a minute. And I think I've been better with my kids instead of letting that compound. Because I think what a lot of people will do is hold that in. Next thing you know, you're exploding on your kid. Where I'm just like, hey guys, I just need a
Yeah.
minute. Like I'm going to walk outside. Just give me a minute. And I'll openly say that to them. And I think in the long run that will hopefully resonate and hopefully be a sponge for them of knowing that like if something gets super stressful, just step away for a second. Just it's
Yeah.
okay. Step
Well,
away and
yeah.
come back to whatever you're going through.
Little C, man. She sometimes just needs a minute, Daddy. All right, babe. Go for it. Take a minute. Take 10. Take an hour. Let me know when though. But I love them. Just be open with them, man. Talk to them like they're human beings. Celebrate the little dumb stuff when they can't understand what you're saying, and then when they can't understand what you're saying, talk to them like humans.
Yeah.
You make a pretty good one.
All right. Well, we've
What else
gone
we
through
got
our
here
feelings
today?
a lot. You want to get a little more
I could
lighthearted
I,
or jump over?
I could feel more, but we've got a lot of podcasts to do. So.
We got a lot of feeling, but we also
We got
got
the 8-seamer, baby.
how many teams we got on the AI baseball? Enough. But we'll jump over to Sports Corner. Obviously, sponsored by Raleighwood Hobby Family. Come check us out on eBay. Um, but sports calendar's a little light these days.
Dude, this is it. Like you have Joey Chestnut sucking down Nathan's hot dogs, and then you got nothing. You got nothing until you're. I mean, I can't really watch ESPN anymore, but I think the time I turn it on the most is like leading into training camp. Who is alive and who is in jail, right? So, that's what something to look forward to. Fantasy.
Yeah, I think a lot of training camp. I mean, a lot of training camp starting up this week or next week. I think. Is July the worst sports month of the year? Because I hadn't really thought about that till just now, but I think it has to be.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we had the World Cup this year that helped alleviate some of it this year, but that's every 4 years.
June's not great, but you finish up NBA, NHL kind of sometimes in the beginning of June.
Yeah,
so you still got something. July happens. Like I said, we're talking about.
It might be. I mean, August at least you got the hype of camp. You got everyone's practicing. We got fantasy football drafts firing up. What's your official start of football season? Because I have a few different things that go through my brain. But what's your official? Okay, football's back.
So for me, man, I hate the preseason. I hate it. I never watch it. I remember I watched it one time, and on the last play of the game, our dude, like one of our draft picks that year, like 4th round pick, like tore his ACL on a dumb play. And that was even after like a couple of years of being like, I'm not going to watch this, man. It's just too much anxiety. Like I'm instead of enjoying it, I'm like, please don't get injured. Like, hey man, I got no control over this. So I like it to see the colors again. So my official, I would say it is kickoff. I would say it is Thursday
night, that first game.
Yes, 100%. Because even like it's I'm just more angry in that last 10 days, since we're not if you're not the Thursday night game, you're like, all right, we get football. I just want to see my boys play. I would say, you know what, if I'm rewinding, because we have to do the fantasy draft before that, I would say the fantasy draft gets me hyped up. I don't look into any players leading up to this. I don't do any research. So
right.
it would probably be like the fantasy draft and being reminded of all the guys that are still in the league and who the hell is this guy, and we'll give him a run. So probably fantasy drafts, probably that Raleighwood fantasy draft.
Raleighwood Fantasy Football League. Can't wait to get that rolling again.
Me neither.
No, I mean, for the most of my life, I used to always be really big on the college football video game, which I believe just came out last week. I know it's the only second year it's been back after a big hiatus. But it used to always be like college football comes out, I'm going to play that game. And then I'm jumping over. I'd go to Steelers training camp when I lived up north quite a bit. That was one of my favorite things to do because you could go talk to the players, get some autographs. Just that was really. Now that I'm so far removed from that, I haven't been to training camp in probably almost 20 years at this point. The video game did come back. I don't even think I bought this year's. I played last year's. So I don't know. I think with that. That's a great question. I don't remember. Is it? What's his name? Jeremiah from Ohio State. I have to double check that. But it did come out.
College.
Yeah, college football came out. Madden comes out in August at some point. But yeah, the college football game came back. It had been gone. It looks like there's a.
Oh yeah. This is the second year
now.
Yeah, dude.
It looks like.
I know.
Indiana's coach, the West Virginia guy, he's on the front cover. Got a bunch of players. There's like 20 people on the cover. So
they got a
breakdown who's all on that. I can't keep up with college football all the time nowadays with all the new players. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I think when the fantasy drafts start flowing, I mean, I always go to Vegas which we'll track this a little on the podcast this year. So I don't know if you know this, Pete, but those listening, I know might be a little bit familiar. I was on some other podcasts talking about this in previous years, but I fly out to Las Vegas every year to enter the Circa football contests. They have technically 3 contests, but I enter 2 of them. One is Circa Millions. It's a $1,000 entry, and you pick 5 NFL games every week by the spread. I typically do that by myself, and then I also have a team of college buddies, and we've been doing that for almost 10 years where there's 5 of us, so we all just pick one game every week and see how we do, and have never done very well, never placed in the money. But it is a fun tournament. And I mean, you're talking, I don't know what the numbers are this year, but $8 million to the winner, something like that for that contest. But that's been a lot of fun. And then the other one that's really taken off in the years is the Circa Survivor contest. Are you familiar with Survivor pools? Have you ever done an NFL Survivor pool?
Yeah, probably was like a $5 pool. My brother started or something.
So they have the biggest football contest in the world. So the Circa Millions, one I was talking about originally, is a $6 million guaranteed, pot. So that's, again, regardless of how many entries they get, they normally do that. And then the other contest is the Circa Survivor, which has grown into the largest contest in the entire world. And it is $20 million guaranteed, even if they don't have that many entries. But again, $1,000 entry, they will probably be over. I guess what would you need? 200,000, something like that.
20,000. You need 20,000 to break even.
Yeah. Or sorry, 20,000. Yeah. So 20,000 to break even. So they'll probably surpass that. It's just continued to get bigger. I think the first year I was in, it was 9. I think it was 14 million. Now it's up to 20 million guaranteed. But we'll track thoughts on that as going into each week and maybe see how things transpire. Maybe I'll win $20 million in this podcast. Will be my job.
I can help you.
Yeah. That's saying. We'll discuss that on the show. Maybe we'll do a joint entry or something where we both have to decide on the pick on the show, and that can be our official pick for the contest, and maybe track that. That'd be a fun segment to do as well. But that's also one of the big starts to football season for me. Normally I go in August. This year we're actually going to go for Labor Day weekend, get away, have a couple days without the kids for the first time in a long time.
Stop it.
Contest. So that's going to be the first day of college football. So it's going to already probably feel well like football season at that point.
Dude.
But
where are you going to stay?
We're going to stay at Park MGM, which is first time for us. It's the only smoke-free casino in all of Las Vegas. We've visited it, through it, and it feels so amazing to not smell cigarette smoke. Because you don't smell cigarette smoke that much in 2026, but you do when you're in Las Vegas, especially in the casino. And they do a good job of pumping that out, but man, it can be rough. And so yeah, we're going to try to stay there because we're going to also see Raleigh's finest, J. Cole, in concert Sunday night as part of his All Out tour. So it's at T-Mobile Arena where the Las Vegas hockey team plays. And
did I tell you my one experience with J. Cole? Yeah. I had one. Wow. I was in the same bubble as J. Cole one time. I was a bartender at the Carolina Ale House. This was probably 2005 or 6 maybe. And I remember being up at the host stand and dude coming in with his burnt CD and a printed, slid into that Memorex, CDR. And I just remember it saying J. Cole on it. And I said, thanks, dude. And I put it in the host stand because we used to get that all the time. We used to get that all the time, like, yo, here. And I think back on that, like, man, if I would have just chucked it in my, behind the bar, I might still have it. That would have been dope, having a burn J. Cole CD from one that he came in. But yeah, he came in like promoting it, and obviously I don't know when he got big, but I love him.
Yeah, J. Cole. He is technically Fayetteville. I do know that. Don't want any listeners in the comments telling us, hey. But we do claim he lives in Raleigh, so we still claim him.
Pete Pablo,
my wife have been to
Raleigh, lives in Clayton here.
He does.
That's my dude.
But yeah, I love J. Cole. Me and my wife went to all 5 Dreamville festivals here in Raleigh. Absolutely love the guy. There was no way I was going to miss this tour. He played the Charlotte shows to start the tour when we were at the beach, so I was like, well, we can't make that one. What's next best? And I was like, well, I need to go to Vegas anyway, so let's just kind of combine these 2 activities. And oh man, that can't come quick enough. That's about a month away, but I cannot wait to get to Vegas. It is by far my favorite place. We'll talk about that on other episodes, but it is an amazing place. All right, as we're finished up Sports Corner, I got, I always like to share a card or kind of a player, a little bit of both. I wanted to kind of see, because I don't think you're going to know this guy, Pete, and I'll give you a small hint. He is currently the favorite to win the National League Rookie of the Year, and he also was a West Virginia Mountaineer.
Really?
You can see this. He is playing for the St. Louis Cardinals. Are you familiar with this gentleman? I'm trying to get a there.
JJ
Wetherholt is his name.
No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with him. And he's going to win Rookie of the Year, huh?
He is currently the favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
I mean, I would have liked it to be Connor Griffin for the Pirates, but he got hurt. So next best is JJ Wetherholt. But I have a lot of his cards, to be quite honest.
Did you pull that one? Did you buy it?
I bought this one recently. So this is the 2025 Bowman Chrome Prospects, obviously autographed. It's in a PSA 10, which that I do try to get the PSA 10s. Obviously, this card is growing in value. All his cards are. I was able to snag quite a few of his rookie cards because he is the greatest player in West Virginia baseball history. I don't think that's close. That we have some pretty good team that made the Final Four this year.
Born in 2002. Okay, I think I recognize his face as a prospect.
How much do you think this Bowman Chrome Prospects Auto PSA 10 cost? Remember, a lot of people still don't know who he is. I've been a little high on him all season because I watched him play in college. But
for that rookie card right there, autographed?
It is autographed.
I'm going to say it's
It is $88 reflector. Call that. This card is currently going as a PSA 10. The last sale was $350.
Dang.
Why can't I get it right?
You were close, but again, and that's honestly, I think that's going to go way up.
$300, Chad. Are you per cereal?
Good God, 350 was the last sale. I did get it for just a little bit under that, so I'm in it for just under the comp. So I didn't pull that card. I didn't get it graded. Obviously, if you pull a card, you can send that in for gradings, but it could be about $80 right now because PSA got too busy and they cut off all the cheaper options. So you kind of have to. So it's a little harder to pull and then send one to grade. It has to be pretty good. But if you pull it,
PSA hiring?
$80. I mean, I hope they're hiring. They should be. They had a $5 million card backlog that they had to pause all their value submissions. Yeah, I don't think that would be me, but yeah, maybe I need to give them a call. But yeah, no, love JJ Wetherholt. Hope he gets Rookie of the Year. Be a great story. Don't really love the Cardinals, but I do love JJ. And I got some more of these. This one I don't think I've put this one on eBay yet, but it will probably be up soon. I do have quite a few JJ Wetherholts over on Raleighwood Hobby Family's eBay store. So if you want to go check them out.
I stopped by the store the other day. I don't know if you noticed, but yeah, it was really cool, man. I like it's just cool. I guess I haven't been on eBay in a long time either. Since, looking for random pint glasses to finish the set that I somehow got, but that was 20 years ago. But I went by. It was pretty cool. Saw all the stuff on there. Yeah, huge fan. It seems like a really fun thing to get into, and I just have all the things that I've collected over my lifetime, and I'm not gaining anything else. So.
It has been a lot of fun, and I love seeing my kid get in the car. We've been ripping some World Cup Panini Prism cards all week. We found they had a little supply of some blasters at Target, which had been sold out almost everywhere. They're normally $30, and like the card stores are selling them for $60 because they're all out. And we just stopped by Target, and they had a whole pallet. And unfortunately, Target only lets you buy 2 at a time when it comes to sports cards now because of all the Pokemon resellers and everything else. So we had to kind of beat the system a little bit. I had to buy 2, and then my 6-year-old, he had to buy 2, and then we had to do a little lap around, and we ended up getting a few. We didn't want to buy them all. We didn't want to be that guy. Didn't want to teach him too many bad tricks, but it's 2 per transaction. It doesn't say 2 per person.
Credit card?
Yeah, you might have to get him rolling on that. But we packed some, and then sure enough, out of a $30, so then we went to another Target, and they didn't have the boxes, but they had packs for $4. Same thing. Target only lets you get 2 at a time. So we're like $8, and I was like, well, we're going to buy more than 2. Like, go back, get 2. Like, anyway, so he ends up pulling. I wish I had it down here. I'd show you. It's a Cole Palmer, guy for England soccer team, manga card, which is manga's type of Japanese art type thing. Kind of think of like a Pokemon type thing. So it's like a cartoon character looking card. The Lionel Messi card. So we pulled Cole Palmer. He missed the World Cup, unfortunately, for England, but he did sign about a $30 million contract to play with Chelsea. So he's only 25. We're going to hold that card. It's about $500 card that my son pulled out of a $4 pack, though. Dude, we're going to hold it because I think if he scores a couple goals for Chelsea, I think that thing, or maybe even makes the next World Cup for England when he'll be 28. He'll be in the prime. That thing could double. So we're going to hold that one. But a question for you. So these manga cards, which are just all the rave right now, the Lionel Messi was the highest selling. So this, again, you could get in a $4 pack or one of these boxes like my kid did. How much do you think that Messi card just sold for?
Is it numbered?
Not numbered, but these are called super short print. So SSP for short, super short print. So they're not numbered, but there's a very limited amount of them. But no one, I don't think, really knows the actual number except for maybe Panini.
$1,300.
It just sold for over $9,000. $9,000 for the Lionel Messi manga card out of the Prism World Cup series. I mean, there's not a lot of them floating around, but I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, I think Yamal was about $6,000. So we didn't pull the best player to pull one, but the fact we even pulled one and got a $500 card on a $4 pack was pretty incredible.
So man, I went to McDonald's and I tried to get a Lamine Yamal cup.
Yeah.
But I got a Grimace the goalie one.
Oh,
do you think that's worth anything?
Probably not worth a lot, but my kids will literally fight you to the death for it because we have also been collecting McDonald's cups, and we've gotten very excited. We got Pulisic. I think we got Terry Henry. I think we got Sun from South Korea. We got maybe that's like
Grimace.
Yeah, they've been dying to get the Grimace one. So, but no, those have been fun too. Little World Cup cups, meals. They got some good ones.
Deliver dreams.
You really
Good.
could.
I got a place for it. I got a place for it, dude. I got a place for it. That's
I
I'm
mean,
just
my
happy
kids
about that.
will.
So I'll be coming in tough. Yep. Me and Grimace. And actually, strangely enough, the giant beanbag upstairs name is Grimace just because it's 9 foot long and purple. But anyway, side
We
note.
do have. I do have videos of my daughter doing backflips onto said pillow in your house.
Thing's massive.
It is. It is
Anyway.
great. Well, I think we're about out of time.
$9,000. Are we?
$9,000 for the messy manga cards. If anyone's got a messy manga card laying around, I'd make an offer for you. It's not going to be that high, but I would love to have that card. I mean, last ever World Cup for him. I mean, I'm not surprised, but that is insane amount for a piece of cardboard. But
that's
I'm telling you,
so what I envision on that is how is it made? Does it come out on a press? How many executives are standing around them when they come out? You know, like what's the security like on that? That's where my gut brain goes. But anyway.
Oh, it's crazy, dude. And that's not even, the biggest card you've seen. I mean, I've seen.
No, I know.
They have these ones that are people making their ML debut. They wear a special patch on their jersey when they play the game, and they're taking those patches and then putting them inside baseball cards and selling that as like MLB debut patch. And it was the patch that the guy wore in his actual first game. And I mean, just some incredible stuff they're doing. And those cards are even.
That's cool.
I mean, I was looking at a Yamal card that was selling for $40,000 earlier today, and I thought it was a joke. And I looked it up, and the last one was a PSA 10 sold for $78,000. I mean, I'm telling you, the card market is so hot. I cannot explain it enough.
I think I have Repeat's first pair of batting gloves. We'll see what those are worth in 30 years.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm saying. When he goes big, dude, you got this.
When he's a CPA. Anyway.
But anyway, we'll wrap this up, man.
We're done?
I think it's episode 4. Always a pleasure, Pete. Like I said, I just love that we can get together and talk about this. I could care less if anyone's listening to us.
I know, dude.
Because it is always
fun.
a joy just to talk to you, man. Because
Struggle
all we're
over.
doing is just, instead of walking around on my cell phone, I'm just talking to my, one of my best friends in the world right here, just every week
man.
talking about fun stuff, man. And I do love running into people like last night and hearing the positive reinforcement.
Yeah, I feel really good. And, we appreciate you guys. Anybody that is listening, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. But thanks for sticking around. I mean, right now is just practice. We're talking about practice. Okay, we're not even where we want to be. And if you we just appreciate you along for the ride, because this is going to be pretty sweet. Because we're gonna have more people on other than just starborn asses, and things are going to get rolling here. But right now,
yeah, I'd say, like I said, please like, subscribe, share the show with another dad who might enjoy these conversations. Because again, this is the community. This is a place that we're sharing our stories and we're opening up to you. But we want to have other dads on the program. That's the goal. We're going to have other people joining us. We want to, Patrick, come on. We're getting you next. We want to get other people involved, and we want, again, so that's where there's comments. Not only, we want to see those. We want to see that. We're not parenting experts.
We're going to talk about all sorts of crazy stuff, man. Yeah.
Make sure
we got health.
Here.
Yeah, we got health on the agenda. I've got friends that were by my side through my coma that, we haven't even talked about, which is going to be a wild ride. But I was just talking about it earlier today. It's going to be a crazy one. But yeah, no, we appreciate everything. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, we're just trying to get a little better every day. That's the goal, whether it be podcasting, whether it be parenting, whether it be friendship. Just getting a little bit better every day is our goal. Dads, brothers, friends, community, better every day. Until next time, we'll see you.
I love guys.